We're on the air. Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in to the Team Relentless Call. As always, I've learned to just open it up to the public because I have found more than anything is that, Beachbody and all the top coaches really embrace the same things, but everybody teaches differently. So you may be assigned to a really awesome coach who has, great ways of training, but there may be some things that you're struggling with and you just don't respond to their method of teaching. So I've learned that since I've been an elite coach, a lot of people have reached out to me, and my time is very limited, but everybody is just as important to me. But so I figured that my way of giving back and trying to help people the best I can is to open these up, and hopefully something I say will be the trigger that will maybe get you past a struggle or hurdle that you've been through. So tonight, the topic is the power of recognition, and this is really big. This is something that means a lot to me, and I really feel that it needs to be highlighted and focused on for people who are not coaches yet and might be watching this and realize what a great organization we're part of and the great things that can happen with Beachbody and how it impacts you mentally and emotionally. And also, if you're a coach, then I feel that you need to understand this huge facet that, number one, the benefits that are available to you through recognition through Beachbody, and also the role you play in other people's life and how it really can affect their success and the growth that they see mentally and emotionally. So I have my friend Kim here. She is part of the Fit and Funky Nation. Danielle Katz is her coach or her sponsor, who's one of my great friends. But she coordinated with our team, which my upline is Diesel Nation, which was co-founded by Becky Brosette, my sponsor, and her sister Christina. They are huge and been very monumental in the Beachbody world to creating epic corporate events, and that's where she kind of plugged into them. She met them, and we've all become really close with her. Our husbands are all close, and she's really big on recognition because that has been something that's really been very monumental to her success. So first I'm going to let her discuss everything that she wants to share that has helped her grow as a person, helped her become close to our team, helped her grow a team of people that she's very close to and they feel important. And then at the end I'm going to kind of share some of the benefits that come with being a coach, because Beachbody does want to recognize you, and that's a big thing in life, is that we all have responsibilities and roles that we must maintain and we must do. But sometimes we hear this all the time. People work for somebody and they never get any recognition. They do something for their children. They do something for their spouse. They do something for their close friend, and nobody ever recognizes it. And not that you have to do things to get a pat on the back, and especially the things that are necessary in life, but it always feels good, and it makes you go that extra mile, and it makes you feel appreciated and loved, and that all your efforts and your hard work and your energy were worth it. And that is so powerful, because there's so many people out there who work for companies, and I've heard this before. Well, I don't get any bonuses, I don't get any time off, I busted my butt staying late, working on projects, and nobody even thanked me, or I haven't gotten a raise in years. And I hear people saying, I do all this stuff for my husband or wife, and they never appreciate me, and it really leads to resentment, and it really leads to you start to question your efforts. And so this has been very monumental, and so I'm going to turn it over to Kim. She became a coach in August 2012. She ended last year as a one-star diamond, and in 2 years, less than 2 years, she has 5 lifetime diamonds that she's sponsored, and she's already qualified to be a 2014 elite. And she's just been amazing, and she's been a huge asset to our team because she really contributes, and she's just the hottest 40-year-old I know. So I'm going to turn it over to her.
All right. Thank you so much. First of all, I'm humbled that you would even ask me to be on a phone call. So I'm a little nervous, so you'll have to bear with me. I tend to kind of go all over the place, but I'm going to stay succinct and tell you my message. So just a little background about myself. I met my coach online. Just like most people meet me through social media, and she really kind of just took an interest in me, and she just looked happy, honestly. And I feel like it was that connection that she took an interest in me that really made me join her challenge group. I usually probably wouldn't have done things like that, like get involved in an online group and things, but I just really liked her, and she made me feel comfortable. She made me feel like I could trust her. She didn't ask me to buy anything. I actually had purchased Insanity on Amazon. I had purchased Shakeology through Amazon. I like really didn't even know what Team Beachbody was all about. And I know a lot of coaches, I hear them complain like, oh, you know, like they did this and they did that. Well, guess what? Hello, 5-star, soon-to-be elite coach, you know, bought their stuff on Amazon. So, you know, that's just like a little thing I always try to remind people. I was somebody who had bulimia, and using Shakeology and being involved in the groups, I really found a sense of myself, and I really saw a sense that I could be a leader. So I became a coach. And kind of right away, I just started getting people involved because I had so enjoyed the challenge group experience. For me, it was a place where I kind of felt that unconditional love. I felt like it was a place where I could be myself. So I truly wanted to recreate that for as many people as I could. So I started doing challenge groups right away. I mean, for me, that was a no, you know, that was something that I was going to do. I wasn't using my upline sponsor, you know, her challenge groups. Even though she ran great ones, I really wanted to do it myself. And because she had provided such a great example for me. So I started those challenge groups, and I just kept running them, and it was really, you know, started to be successful. And, you know, I started to be a high Success Club earner in points, and my career just kind of took off. As far as starting a group of coaches, I actually did not sign my first coach until like 6 months into doing this. Basically because I just wasn't asking people and I was just really afraid. But thankfully I did sign my first coach, I signed my husband, and then I just started asking the question, you know, did people want to join me? And one of the things I guess I think I made a mistake in was that I just kind of, the only thing I was offering people was to be a discount coach, that they got their Shakeology cheaper. It never occurred to me that people might want to do what I do. It never occurred to me that people might want bigger things out of life through this Beachbody experience. So I, you know, was still running my challenge groups, but I felt very much stuck, and I felt very much just doubting myself. Like there's no better way to explain it than like a deer in headlights. Like literally every first of the month I would be deer in headlights, and I was so afraid that I was never going to hit Success Club. And because I was so wrapped up in myself and my own issues, I really couldn't help my team. I really didn't know how to talk to them. I really didn't know, you know, how to reach out to them, what they needed from me. And then so one day I just kind of befriended Becky and Christina through going to live events and stuff like that, and created a relationship. And then I found Mindy, and you know, like Mindy says, she opens her her groups and her questions and everything to everybody, because Mindy was not somebody who was my upline sponsor, yet Mindy kind of showed me that same love of, it's okay, you can do this. And people really, I just don't think, understand how powerful that is when you can show to somebody, you can say to somebody, you know, they can do this, especially when they're at their bottom. They, you know, don't think they can do this. So I am always eternally grateful to Mindy and Becky and Christina for showing me that love. And because they did, I really feel like it helped me create a culture within my own team. And in January, I would say, of 2014, the first thing I actually did was apologize to my team. And I apologized to them because I really felt like I wasn't giving them the recognition. I really wasn't putting the focus on them. You know, if anything was talked about, if anything was, you know, happened, it was me. It was, you know, oh, I'm a Success Club All-Star. I'm this, I'm that. Well, guess what? If you want to build a team and you really want to, you know, create a culture of success, it can't be about you. So that was one of the biggest things I learned. Now, for me, it wasn't, you know, it's about me because I'm so great. I think it became, it's about me because I didn't know how to lead. I was so in my own head. So one of the things I did was a lot of personal development. And through personal development, I started to be more secure with myself, and I started to realize that people didn't want me to be a problem solver, because that's, I think, what I was my first year. I was a problem solver. You know, I could tell you every fact that's in the back office. I could tell you anything that you want. But guess what? That wasn't helping my coaches be better coaches. What they needed from me was to listen, and they needed me to love them, and they needed to me to recognize them for what they were doing. So that was one of the biggest things. You know, like I think they said, you know, they give us 2 ears and 1 mouth because we're supposed to do more listening than we do talking. And I think that that's something that I wasn't doing. And it's something that I really had to change how I went about dealing with my customers, dealing with my coaches, and dealing, you know, with my family even. You know, when we talk about recognition, recognition really just comes from the word to recognize. So you really need to recognize what's special about, you know, whether it's your family or your customers or your coaches, and recognize where they are, what they need from you. And honestly, what most of the people want from you as much as anybody else is they want to know that they matter. They want to know that they're important to you. And so that's really been basically what I do. You know, I know a lot of coaches do like the recognition where they're like, oh, so-and-so made the 200 club and the 300 club and things like that. I personally don't do that. And the reason I don't do that is because we believe that we kind of work as a team. So yes, we celebrate when people make Success Club, but to me, for my team, it doesn't matter if somebody made Success Club like 48, because the whole goal is to make Success Club. So we celebrate that. Because what I found was when you start ranking coaches and you start telling them like, okay, you got this many points and that many points, it starts to get them to compare each other. So I love to focus my recognition more about the individual and the unique things. Like one of my coaches just got married in Hawaii. You know, we recognize that kind of thing. One of my coaches, you know, just got her brother on Shakeology, and his, you know, his diabetes, his blood sugar went down 100 points. Those are the things that we recognize in our group. And I think it puts it in the right place where we are supposed to be helping people, we're important, we're a family, and we work together. So my recognition in my group is a little different, I think, than what most people do. I mean, we make a big deal about rank advancement and all that other stuff, but I try not to do anything in recognition in terms of like highest points and this kind of thing, because I just think as a team we need to work together. And I think, you know, I want people to know that who hit Success Club 5, that's just important that they hit Success Club 5 as I hit Success Club 40. And I think that when you make that, you know, the line there, it helps, you know, to build the culture of working together rather than competing with one another. And then the next thing I talked about was the power of recognizing your customers and recognizing your coaches what they want to hear. So one of the things that I try to do, and I physically have to stop and do this because it's not something that comes second nature to me, is I have to think, what does this person want me to hear? So when I have somebody who kind of asks me like about PIO or this one or something or Shakeology, and they tell me something, I have to stop and think, what does this person want me to hear? And if I can pinpoint what exactly they want me to hear and answer that and, you know, and recognize for that person, for me that builds a bond with them. And I think it helps, you know, build that trust, and it helps build the bond. And then also I realized that, you know, we all run a very business. This year has been really hectic for me. My family has been used to having, you know, me be a stay-at-home mom. So they have a person who works now, who works kind of crazy hours sometimes and, you know, has a building, you know, bustling business. And I realized that I really needed to stop and recognize them too, you know, and it might be something like, you know, they call them like 10-second hugs and 10-second kisses, where, you know, somebody truly stops and feels you recognize them as, you know, they're important and that they matter. So those are the things that, you know, I do when when I talk about recognition, I think it's a little different than what most people talk about. I mean, for me and my group, I feel like my job is really just to listen to them and to tell them that they can do it. And I need to tell them as many times that they can do it as until they start believing it, because somebody did that for me, and it wasn't just one person. It wasn't just Danielle Katz. It was Mindy Horde. It was Becky Brissett. It was Christina Delgado. I just remember Christina telling me, when I said to her, I don't think I can make elite this year, and she just like looked square in the eye, and she was like, you will make elite. And I never realized how powerful that was. And so now I tell my coaches that, when they have 4 Success Club points, I tell them, I know you can get out and get that 4. And I don't know why, but they wind up doing it because I feel like it's because I told them, and that they have somebody else now telling them that they can do it, that they put in that extra call, that they make that extra invite, in that terms. And now we have more and more coaches every month making Success Club and finding more success and rank advancing. And I think, that's a gist of, what we do. So I did a lot of talking. Did you want me to continue, or?
Yeah, are you done?
No, yeah.
Everybody on my team loves to hear you talk. They can listen to you talk all day long. Well, okay, thank you for sharing that. There was a few things that I picked up, and this is where I'm saying that I've said this on all my other calls and videos that I have on my YouTube channel, is that when it all comes down to it, there are certain rules that we kind of have to follow through Beachbody, for, legal purposes. But overall, this is our own business. And, I hate when people say, well, am I allowed to do this? Can I say this? And should I do this? And the thing is, I'm not going to tell you yes or no, because this is your business and you have a different audience and you have a different team. Everybody's motivated different. And I've had to really take a step back this year because it was kind of like what, Kim was saying, is that, I was going about things. Obviously, we're successful to some degree, but we weren't operating at our, potential. But I love this because we all run things differently, and every time you get on a call, because like I tell everybody, I do not run off of a script. I feel so comfortable now, and this becomes from people believing in me too in practice, but I just speak from the heart, so I never know what I'm going to say. And so, but when I'm talking and when I'm listening to other people and I'm connecting, because they all operate different, they all think different, they all have different experiences, I learn something. And there's nothing wrong with the honoring or people publicly or in your team group page about how many PV, how high their PV is for the week. And if you're not a coach, PV is personal volume based on the sales of each week. And there's nothing wrong with how many Success Club points. I know that one of my coaches on my team has 36 Success Club points. She has been killing it in her first month of being a full-time coach because she was able to retire from her 10-year career as a teacher. But I do see that when people are struggling and there's somebody like that who has 36 points and then it's like, oh, I have 0, and we're at the end of the month, and that just deflates some people's confidence. And so I really like the approach that you had, that we honor people and we celebrate the fact that whether they have 4 Success Club points or 40, maybe keeping those numbers out, because that does create a little bit of comparing, and that's one of the most defeating things to us emotionally and mentally. And also because of the fact that anytime you do something, anytime you step out of your comfort zone, anytime you share with somebody and you invite and you help somebody make that decision, you help them lose 5 pounds or pant size, whatever it is, get off blood pressure medication, that needs to be celebrated, and they need to be celebrated for doing that. So I think I'm going to try that new approach in my group, and that's why these calls are so great, and to talk to other coaches, because I've never really seen it that way. I was honoring these people, and I do think that other people may compare themselves, and I can tell through comments that it's not a jealousy thing, but it's that, oh, well, they're doing good, what am I doing wrong? And that's the worst mindset we can have. So thanks for that. And she said something about Christina, how she said, oh my God, I don't know if I'm gonna make elite. And Christina's like, yes, you will. And our team's great. People are truly envious of our team, Diesel Nation, and they're happy to be part of us because we do that. I've heard coaches say that, or even people who picked my team because they see the close relationship that we have together, because they're like, we see all of you, your whole team, congratulating each other and celebrating, and they're giving shout outs and they're talking and they know each other, and like, we want that. And that's a big part of being a coach, is having that bond. And Christina was the same way. I remember before I was a diamond coach, if you're a diamond coach, you know that you get an email once a month. I don't even know what Friday it is. It's some Friday that comes out. Kim probably knows because she's like she knows all the rules. But I know I'm what other coach. But we get it on a certain Friday of the month, and before it now it shows the rankings of where you are in the company. She right now is number 37, freaking awesome, with almost 211,000 coaches. But this was before that came out in the email, and Christina, she found out from, I think, Jeremy Red or somebody corporate what my rankings were, and at the time of last year it was 37. I qualified for elite at that early in the year, just like Kim has already qualified early this year. And she was like, I'm so proud of you, and I love that, because she's not my sponsor, she is my sponsor's sister, but I always feel like I have two coaches that she always has my back, and her and I can relate on some ways, because me and her are kind of loosey goosey and we're all over the place, and Becky's kind of more like Kim, a little more structured and by the books. And so I get that. And the thing is, like, if you didn't have that team, if you didn't have that family feel, I might be missing certain parts where I don't connect, because Becky's like spreadsheet, she is very methodical about what she does. I'm just like, wow, and I mean, so there's some things that Christina just gets, and that's why you have to have this, feel. And I remember when she texted me that, and she made this collage that it was like had like fiery flame writing number 37, and she posted it, and I mean, I felt so good. So number one, she took the time to find that out. And it was something that she posted. And and then I was like, oh my God, all my hard work, because I'm not a numbers person, and because that wasn't part of it. And and I remember at the end of last year when I was like, I'm kind of struggling, and it was the same thing. Am I gonna make elite this next year? And I just told Kim before we got this call, I'm like, I don't know if I'm gonna make elite this year. I just don't know. And Christina was like, you absolutely can. She's like, you are top 10 coach material. And I'm like, what? I'm like, I don't think I am. And then I went to Ryan. I was like, she's just bonkers. And she said, and he's like, no, you are. If you really push hard. Right now, I'm not going for that, because I want everybody to just go at their own pace and work with the willing. I don't want that stress. But because the thing is, sometimes, like Kim said, sometimes we neglect our family in the midst of things, and we don't recognize them. And I'm very big on recognizing Ryan, because what I've accomplished would not have been possible if it weren't for him. He's kind of crazy. He's out on a pontoon boat. We have 7 kids here now because of him on that call, and I'm pretty hacked off. But the thing is, he still makes it happen. He still supports me. But sometimes I realize that he tells me the same thing, and he gives me the same recognition back, and he is my biggest fan. Like I said, he said, no doubt you'll do that. I remember last year, I was like, I don't know if I can quit my job. I'm scared. He was like, you'll do it, and you'll do better than you did this last year, and every year you'll do better. And then this year, when I told him to, I don't know if I'm going to make a lead, and he was like, you always say these things, but you doubt yourself, and I know you will. And so sometimes there's the opposite end, is that sometimes we don't listen to what the people who love us most and know us most say, because it's easy to say, oh, they have to say that because they're, whatever. I told my best friend the other day, I said, you and Ryan were the only people that really ever were in my corner and always believed in me. I said, and then Becky came along, and I tried to tell her I couldn't be a coach, and she just believed in me. And the reason why I signed up on a whim, completely impulsively, unlike her who took weeks to, make the decision to do this, is because she believed in me. And I told my best friend, I'm like, I know you believed in me, but it was so powerful to have a stranger, not somebody that's like, oh, you're my best friend, you just have to say that, or oh, you're my husband, you have to live with me. But this is powerful. So that's what I want all of you to know, is how you talk to people, how you present yourself, how you recognize them, is very important because this is how you're going to grow your relationship. If you have a challenge for people in your challenge group and you are so focused on if their Shakeology is going to ship on day 30 and a day 60 and day 90, and if you're so concerned on pushing them to be a coach and you're not recognizing the efforts they're making, if you are not building a relationship with them, they will never become even probably a discount coach on your team because you are just seeing them as a number. You're not going to know them. You're not going to listen to them. And if you sign them on your coach on as a coach to your team, and you're not taking time to get to know them and build that relationship, so you have that loving family feel, then they're not going to be motivated to do anything. And they're, maybe because it's a resentment towards you. Maybe it's because they just really don't believe in themselves. Maybe it's because they know that you are just pushing them to reach your goal. And so this is why you need to take time and listen to them. And then because I've had a big wake-up call this year, because I was always just like, well, this is how I'm going to do it, and I just assumed everyone else was going to do it. And if they didn't do it, I wasn't mad, but I didn't realize that everybody takes a certain way, everybody responds a different way, everybody learns a different way. And the thing was, I was pushing so hard, and I had the people who were just automatic leaders who were just like me and going along with it. But I didn't take time to really find out what motivated people, and so I'm learning now because I'm listening to my team, and that's why I've started implementing these calls with people who are guest speakers who, like I said, with me, if you have a different sponsor, something I say in this call may be a big eye-opener, because I know Kim said that when she friended me, and I accepted it, and then, a couple days later, she's like, I've watched like 5 of your YouTube videos, and I'm sitting here crying. It just really, hit home. She has an awesome coach, somebody who was in the top 10 last year who's amazing and just an incredible woman, and that's helped her success. But something that I said, something that Christina said, added into it. And we as a organization, we are not in competition. We are here to support one another. So it doesn't matter who your team is. But the thing is, you have to take time to listen to people. And so I'm realizing now, some people are motivated by money. Some people are motivated by, just like me. I'm never leaving Beachbody because I actually feel like people love me and love me for who I am, and I feel like I finally belong somewhere for the first time in my life, and I finally feel like I've accomplished something. So for me, recognition is huge. If I don't get recognition, it's not like I'm going anywhere, but that's why I'm here. And other people are motivated. They need to know numbers, they need to see where things are projected, and so you have to get to know them. And I had a wake-up call the other day because Ryan said, we have this great relationship with Becky, Mary, and Christina, and Danny. Our kids are close, and it just feels like we've never, it's like we've always known each other. And he's like, I'm just waiting for that to happen with somebody on your team. And then I thought about it, and I was like, well, everything I do is online. I have some coaches that like Melissa Bartow. We are childhood friends. Gabriel and I have known each other forever. Sam and I know each other, forever. There's people locally that, women that I talk to, and, we went to events together, and I'm like, well, I have that relationship. But then I was like, oh, part of the reason why I'm here is because I have that relationship with all of them, and our families included. And they ask about the kids, and my kids ask about them. So that's part of recognition, too, that they take the time to care, and they truly care. And then I was like, well, we'll never have that with anybody if we don't include our families. And I realized how important our families are in getting your spouses involved, which is why on Sunday I'm doing a call about the power of having a spouse to support you in the business and how to get them to support you. So, you have to be teachable. You have to step back and see what you're doing. You have to be humble, like, Kim was, and apologize for what they've done wrong. And I've told my team before, I haven't been leading right. I apologized to them after Summit. I haven't been doing calls, and my calls, because I didn't know what to say. I didn't know what to say because I wasn't listening to my team to hear what they were struggling with. And so this is a big thing that I've had to step back on, and I apologize to the team. I told everybody locally, I was like, let's all have a get-together. Let's all have our families there, our children there. And so I hosted a big team dinner for local coaches on Sunday. Quite a few people came, and I saw that interaction. It was kind of awkward in the beginning because people were sitting at different tables and husbands didn't know each other. But by the end of the night, we were having a great time. One of the best times I've had in a long time. And, it was monumental. Louise, posting today that her husband, David, appreciate everything we've done for them. And they got us some little gift that we're going to get when we all go to Dallas to the training event up there. It's a corporate training event on August 10th. And, so those are the things that I recognize them. I put something on for them. We spent time. We got to know each other. We built a relationship. And, here they're doing something. And so, that's exciting. Like, she did something for me nice. And, I try to take time out to do that. So I just want to let you all know is that take time to slow down Take time to see what you're doing, if it's working. Is it motivating? Because I hear this all the time. I have a team that just won't work. They won't do anything. They're just all discount coaches. I can't get them to do anything. Well, the thing is, are you trying to get them to do what you want them to do? Or are you asking what motivates them? Are you leading by example? And you don't just wake up and all of a sudden hone in every leadership skill that's necessary to be successful. I recently, was told by Arnold at dinner in April that, you're not leading people. You have to tell them you need to step up. And I was like, well, I'm just thinking I'm being bossy. I don't want to do that. And and then I've tried the whole, like, well, maybe you should do this, and then you're suggesting, and then of course if you suggest it and you give them an out, they're not going to do it. And he's like, you need to step up and be a leader and delegate and say this is what you're going to do. But he's like, because 90% of the people need to be told what to do. So the thing is, find out what motivates them, find out what their struggle is. Tell them that you believe in them. I mean, if you don't believe in yourself, you may not believe in them, and it's pretty clear that they would know that you are lying. So this also goes into what Kim was saying: self-help, self-development, personal development books, seminars, getting engaged in local events, reaching out to other coaches, getting on national wake-up calls. I mean, like I told my team today, I'm doing all these calls for you. They're open to the public, but I'm here because I'm listening to what your struggle is. If you don't get on the call and you're still struggling, then it's one of those things. The definition of crazy is doing the same thing over and over and over again, and expecting a different result. So if you're not doing some of those things I just mentioned, if you're not talking to your team, if you're not engaging personal development, if you're not trying new methods, if you're resistant to getting on calls or national wake-up calls, or resistant to going to Super Saturday, or resistant to ever going to, Summit, well then, you're kind of closing yourself off, because success just doesn't happen overnight. Personal growth doesn't happen overnight. Aha moments don't happen if you don't talk to people, if you don't read books. So that is very important. So, take time to get to know your team, and you understand if your team is just not working, then chances are it's something that you're not doing because you're not listening and you're not changing the way you're doing it. This is not about you. I tell my team this all the time. This is not about you. This is not about you. This is not about you. I hear of a lot of people who are diamond coaches and they can't get past that, and they're like, I don't have a working team. It's because it is not about you at that point. This is something that you have to do as a team. You have to listen to them. You have to find out what motivates them. You have to celebrate every little bit of success. If you wanted one of your coaches to get Success Club, because we all know if you're going for elite or premier, then it is important that your coaches within this year and last year get success, achieve Success Club. So if they don't get it, and you don't celebrate them for getting only 4 Success Club points, well, then that's about you. It's about your selfishness. It's about and I hear this, well, I have these coaches that can't do anything, won't do anything. Well, my thing is, you haven't found what motivates them. You haven't tried new, techniques and to teach them. You haven't tried to plug them into where they need help. So the thing is, if you don't recognize them for getting 4 Success Club points because you wanted them to get 5, you're never going to motivate them. They're never going to be, feel secure. They're never going to feel like it's good enough. And so I'm going to try the new technique of not comparing, numbers, and just really focusing on what they've done. I posted today that I had a friend, she came to me earlier this month. She was like, I have a confession. She's my age. She's like, I pretty much eat like a child. She's like, I eat crap, and I eat protein and carbs all day long. She's like, I don't know what to do. I don't like vegetables. I'm weird about texture. I'm super picky. What do I do? She's like, I kind of want the 3-day refresh. And so I took time to listen to her, to talk to her, to find out what her likes and dislikes and what texture she likes. And we came to the conclusion that we were going to have her try Shakeology. I was going to send her a meal plan, and that her one thing would be to try Shakeology, a different, drink it every day. If she didn't like the first day, try a different recipe. And to every week try a new food. I gave her suggestions of the types of foods that I thought she would like that were healthy, that fell into the category of the textures she likes. I told her, get the 3-day refresh because I know you want to do it. It's on sale. You can get it for $10 extra now. And then, but I'm like, I don't advise you to do it right in the beginning. Save it for some other time because shit, you save $60 plus shipping by ordering the challenge pack on it. So she did, and I said, I explained the point. I was like, these are huge changes. You don't like fruits, you don't like vegetables. If we just throw you into 3-day refresh, which is kind of, shocking, and if you don't have your mindset right, then you could do it. You could waste that money, and you could set yourself up for failure, and then it may discourage you. I'm like, that's the last thing I want, you to do is be discouraged. I said, so, let's set this date. Let's check in 30 days and really see where you're at. And maybe that's not even the right time to do it. But later on, she's like, oh, okay. And then I've checked in with her, every 4 to 5 days. I asked her about her foods, and today she told me, she's like, well, I slipped up, and, she gave this long explanation of what happened. And I was like, did you see my post last night? I was like, I just went like crazy over the week and, fell off. And I said, and she's like, I did see that. She's like, it actually didn't make me feel so bad. I was like, and that's why I share it, because I'll never browbeat you for the mistakes you make, because it's human. And if you're perfect, then I'm going to think that you must be an alien or something. And, and so then we discussed, she'd gotten injured doing CrossFit, and she's kind of scared to, get back into it. And she'd been doing it for years. And so, we started talking about PIO and what was best for her, and, how it would help her to ease back into it. She probably wouldn't get injured. Okay, she's like, I have a long ways to go with my eating. And, she's like, and I told her, I was like, don't look at how long, how much further you have to go. I was like, you've really made some huge changes, and I'm proud of you at 30-some-odd years old for stepping out and being willing to change your lifestyle, and being willing to try foods that you may not like, and taking the chance on me and taking the chance on Shakeology. And then she's like, thank you for always listening to me and being positive and making me feel good. And she was like, I don't always make the best choices. She's like, but I always think before I do stuff now, because I know you're going to check up on me, and I want you to be proud. And that's huge. You have to have that relationship with people. They, people don't understand, because I hear it people all the time. I'm sorry, I fell off track. I'm sorry, I'm not been posting in the group. I'm sorry that, I didn't like Shakeology, or I'm sorry that, whatever happened. And it's because they want you to be proud of them. So that right there is just reinforcement that recognition is big, that they don't want to let you down. And, and Ryan said something about Becky today. She was like, what system does she have? And, asking all these things. I'm like, Becky and I had to learn as we go. She didn't have a sponsor that helps her out, and her and Christina and I we really kind of figured stuff out together, and we both went different ways compared. We've learned as we went, but I was like, she didn't really have a system. I said, my biggest thing is, like, I knew what her goal was, and I loved her so much, and I cared about her so much, and I didn't want to let her down, and I didn't want her to disappoint her, that I just made sure that I duplicated what she did. And the only thing that she's really done that's been duplicatable, because like I said, we've had to figure this out as we go together, is the fact that she is nice to everybody, and she cares about us, and she recognizes us, and she does nice things for us, little gifts here and there. I mean, Pandora, I don't think Pandora, anyway, I don't even remember. But anyways, they were like beautiful, and she did that. And unfortunately, my whole clothes, I never wear earrings because I'm so plain, so I can't even get in my ear, and I'm really sad. But I'm just saying, it means a lot that, like, I'll probably go get my ears re-pierced so I can wear the earrings, because they were that important. She sent me a bracelet I wear all the time. I have this necklace that I never take off that Christina sent me. Christina sent me a P90X shirt, or P90X3 shirt that I was like, oh, I like it, that corporate, sent her, and she took time to send it to me. Those are the things that matter. The biggest fear is me letting Becky down, not because she's going to do anything. She's not my mommy, she's not my boss, but it's huge. And so these are things that I hope you take time to focus on. And a few little highlights I want to say towards the end. I'm going to wrap the call up. Is if you're not a coach and you're watching this, or if you're a new coach, or if you're a coach who's been a discount coach for a long time, and that's okay. Like Kim said, she hadn't signed a coach until she was 6 months into her coaching career. So if you're one of those coaches who thinks you've just been sitting there, not knowing what to do, or maybe fell off track, and you're like, oh my God, I've been a coach forever, I don't know what to do. Now's the best time. It's never too late. But there's these benefits out there that if you don't know about it, that if you hit Success Club many times, every month, that they'll have, rewards. I've gotten things like a Shakeology Snuggie, a keychain, these Shaun T, and a Tony Horton bobblehead, personal development books. Last month I got the Compound Effect and Go Pro. We've gotten apparel, little footballs, all these different things. It's nothing that you're going to go pawn and make enough money to go on a vacation to the Keys or something, but it's great. It's something that if you look all around my house, there are things that are scattered all over. I have Rebel's backpack that goes to school is a Beachbody backpack. I have a Beachbody backpack that bottom, and I mean all these different things that we get because we're doing what we're supposed to do. and it's incentive. And then we have the cup challenge a couple times a year, and I mean, I've won, great things from that too. It's just amazing what they do. And there's a new program, I think it's starting in September. Again, I'm not good at the rules or logistics like this, but I know that whenever you reach different ranks, rank advancements, I think after September they're going to send you apparel that honors you with that. I know that some of the biggest thing I have is every time I've, advanced in rank, we get a little, certificate that tells you what your rank is and when you achieved it. Tell you how not seriously I took myself or this opportunity is I threw the first one away that said that he was a coach, because I didn't think that I would ever be here 2.5 years later. I didn't think I would succeed. I didn't think that I would ever hit diamond or elite or let alone 7-star. But with the belief and a huge backing from the team I have, some of my proudest moments is hearing my name on the national wake-up call when I did, had the top challenge pack sales and, top producers for the week. And I remember the first time I heard that, I was like, I played it and I hit pause and I rewound it a little bit and I was like, Ryan, look, my name's on here, listen. And, I was so excited. And it's not really as exciting anymore because I've heard it. But I still like to hear my name, and it's awesome when I hear people who are listening to National Wake Up Call and they say, hey, I heard your name on there, way to go. That's big. It's something that, makes you feel good. This last, year has been epic since I was elite, and you get the benefits for being elite. You get, VIP access, you get private dinners, you get little gifts, and it's things that they celebrate your success. And one of my best moments is I got recognized on stage 3 times at Summit, and one of the best times was Kim and I. We walked arm in arm. There's a picture of us, and it was just cool because I know how hard we worked together, and maybe one of the 9,000 coaches in the audience didn't even remember seeing us there, and they didn't even know our name, but it was really cool. And I forged this relationship with this woman that, I knew, and I remember setting lines for lead things and talking to everybody, having that. You're a coach, and especially, Success Club is a big deal. I've had 2 paid-for trips to Disney World. I got to take my children and, my husband, and then a cruise this last year, or in March of this year, that was completely paid for through Earning Success Club. We have a trip to Cancun in April of next year that's completely paid for, all ready to go. We're going to Leadership in Scottsdale, another town that I've never been to, in September, completely paid for with travel cash. And I also earned $1,000 onboard credit on the cruise and $1,000 credit at the resort we're going to. We went to Dana Point, California for all expense paid with travel cash trip in last September. And these are all things from Hitting Success Club, things that we should be doing as coaches, and they still reward us, and we get to connect with other coaches. Kim's husband Orlando and Ryan met on the cruise in March, and they instantly, clicked, and we're trying to plan a trip to go visit them in the Keys. This is what it's about, is having a family, is having that there. And it was cool because Orlando told Ryan, oh my God, my wife loves your wife so much. And then Ryan told me that. I know Kim and I always say we love each other, but it was cool that I was somebody that he knew who I was, and he told my husband that, and to hear that back again, it is such an amazing feeling to be appreciated, to be loved, to be cared about, to be talked about in a positive manner. And I've never been anywhere where people cared so much. I can hear in Carl Deichler's voice when I've been in private calls, when I hear him talk on the National Wake Up Call, when I hear him at Team Beachbody, that he truly cares about us. He truly cares about customers. He truly wants us to succeed, and not just succeed monetarily, but he wants us to be better people. And if you don't go to events, if you don't get on the calls, if you don't go to Summit, you'll never know that, and you're really the only one missing out. But right here, what this can do for you, you have a family, and my husband and I, we don't get along with our families. We don't talk to them, so we have no family. It's just me and him. Sometimes it can get, we get along great. Sometimes it's like you kind of beat heads because, like I said, when he tells you something, I tell him something, you're like, oh, whatever. It's because you have to. So to have that feedback and have a big family, and now actually have people who love us because they want to, and don't try to change us and don't try to hurt us, and really want to see us succeed instead of seeing us fail, like our families, it's pretty amazing, especially because we know we don't share DNA with you. We don't share a last name with you. We don't share a roof with you. You're just saying this because you truly care. It's big. So anyways, I hope that in all of my rambling that you got something out of this, but I just really want you to understand that I believe in you, Kim believes in you, and all of us believe in you that you can do this, but you have to believe in yourself. So focus on personal development, focus on getting engaged with local coaches, attending live events that are close to you or in your area. I mean, I've had to travel to Dallas, it's 4 hours away. Do what you can, because you wouldn't be on this call, you wouldn't be watching this video at a later date per se if you didn't really want this. Believe in yourself. But, you know, you can't have somebody believe in you, and you can't believe in yourself if you don't work on it and if you don't get involved with other people. So thank you for tuning in. I was trying to keep it at 45 minutes, and I actually did it. So the link that you just clicked on to get to this will be the same link that if you want to go back and review this later on, or if you want to send it to somebody who you think that this would help. So anyways, congratulations, Kim, on qualifying for Elite. I love you. Thank you. And thank you, everybody, for listening. It's been awesome.